Pest control companies do not talk much about a simple ancient tree oil that termites have been avoiding for thousands of years. This is not a story about magically dissolving an active infestation overnight. It is a story about prevention, and prevention is exactly the part of pest control that companies profit from the least. Distilled cedarwood oil contains natural compounds that termites and many other wood-destroying insects actively avoid. Property builders and furniture makers have relied on for centuries, long before synthetic pesticides ever existed. Ancient Mediterranean shipbuilders specifically sought out cedar for hull construction, not purely for its strength and rot resistance, but because vessels built from cedar consistently suffered less insect damage during long voyages compared to ships built from other available timbers. Early American colonial builders similarly favored cedar for fence posts and foundation sills, specifically in regions with heavy termite pressure, passing that practical knowledge down through generations of builders long before anyone understood the specific chemistry responsible for the effect. University entomology research has confirmed that certain cedar species produce genuinely effective deterrent compounds against termites and other wood pests. The reason this rarely gets discussed as seriously as it deserves is simple economics. A homeowner who prevents an infestation before it starts never signs a recurring service contract. This is the real story of cedarwood oil, what it can genuinely do, what it absolutely cannot do, and why understanding that difference could save you both money and your home. Welcome to Vault Breaker. This is where we open every single vault that billion-dollar industries paid good money to lock shut. And today, that also means being completely honest about the limits of what we are about to show you. If getting the real, accurate answer matters to you, subscribe and ring the bell right now, because what you're about to learn could genuinely protect your home if you use it the right way, at the right time. Let's start with what is actually true here, because the science behind cedar's natural resistance to insects is genuinely well documented. Certain cedar species, particularly eastern red cedar and western red cedar, contain natural aromatic compounds within their wood and extracted oils, including thujaplicins and various terpenes that have measurable insect repellent and mild antimicrobial properties. This is precisely why cedar chests and cedar closets have protected clothing from moths for generations, and why cedar decking and fencing naturally resists certain insects and decay better than many other common construction woods. Multiple university extension entomology programs have studied cedar's natural compounds specifically in relation to termites and confirmed a genuine repellent effect, meaning termites measurably tend to avoid wood treated with concentrated cedarwood oil when an untreated alternative is available nearby. Researchers generally attribute this effect to the compounds interfering with a termite's ability to comfortably tunnel through or feed on the treated wood, rather than the oil acting as a direct poison in the way a synthetic insecticide does. This distinction matters enormously for understanding what the oil can realistically accomplish. This is real, useful, scientifically supported information. But here is the critical distinction that gets lost when this topic goes viral online. Repelling termites away from an area before they establish a colony is a fundamentally different biological process than eliminating an already established, active subterranean termite colony living underground beneath and around your home's foundation. A subterranean termite colony can contain hundreds of thousands of individual termites, connected to an underground nest system that may extend many feet away from any visible infestation point in your home, with a single queen capable of living for over a decade and producing thousands of eggs. Surface application of any oil, cedarwood included, does not reliably penetrate deep enough or reach broadly enough to eliminate a colony operating at that underground scale, and no credible entomology research supports the claim that cedarwood oil alone eradicates an active, established infestation. This is exactly why licensed pest control professionals rely on liquid termiticide soil barriers or slow-release bait station systems for active infestations, specifically because these methods are designed and proven to reach the colony structure and, critically, the queen herself, deep underground. Now here is where the genuinely useful and genuinely underused application of cedarwood oil comes in, and why it deserves far more attention than it currently gets. Prevention. Applying cedarwood oil to untreated lumber, exposed wood framing during construction or renovation, deck posts, fence posts, and other wood in direct soil contact creates a real measurable deterrent effect before termites ever establish themselves there in the first place. This preventive application does not require a recurring monthly contract. It requires one thorough treatment, reapplied periodically as the oil naturally weathers and evaporates over time, typically every 1 to 2 years for continued effectiveness on exposed exterior wood. Think about how differently this gets discussed compared to an active infestation treatment. A pest control company selling monthly service contracts has very little financial incentive to walk you through a one-time preventive wood treatment that reduces your risk of ever needing their more expensive services in the first place. This is not a conspiracy in the dramatic sense. It is simply how business incentives naturally work, and it explains why preventive, Low-cost, long-lasting solutions rarely receive the same marketing attention as recurring service products. If you have made it this far, you already understand something important that gets lost in most viral posts about this topic. Prevention and elimination are two completely different problems, and pretending one solution solves both does a genuine disservice to anyone dealing with a real active infestation. Subscribe and share this with anyone building a deck, fence, or doing exterior renovation work who wants genuine evidence-based protection against future termite problems. Now stay with me, because here is exactly how to use cedarwood oil correctly for real preventive protection. Purchase concentrated distilled cedarwood oil specifically, available from hardware stores, woodworking suppliers, and online retailers, typically costing $15 to $25 per bottle, depending on concentration and volume. For new construction or renovation projects, apply the oil generously to all exposed lumber surfaces before installation, focusing especially on any wood that will have direct soil contact, such as fence posts, deck support posts, and foundation-adjacent framing. For existing structures, apply cedarwood oil to exposed exterior wood surfaces, particularly around foundation perimeters, deck understructures, and any wood-to-soil contact points, using a brush or sprayer for even coverage. Reapply every 12 to 18 months, since the aromatic compounds responsible for the deterrent effect gradually weather and evaporate from exposed wood surfaces over time, especially in areas with significant rain or direct sun exposure. Combine this preventive treatment with basic termite prevention fundamentals that entomologists consistently recommend regardless of any specific product, including maintaining a gap between soil and any wood siding or framing, ensuring proper drainage away from your foundation, and eliminating direct wood-to-soil contact wherever structurally possible. Now, the one thing I need you to hear clearly if you are watching this, because you suspect you may already have an active infestation rather than simply wanting prevention. If you notice mud tubes along your foundation, discarded termite wings near windows or doors, wood that sounds hollow when tapped, or any other signs of an active infestation, please contact a licensed pest control professional for a proper inspection rather than relying on cedarwood oil alone. Active subterranean termite colonies require professional-grade liquid termiticide barriers or monitored bait station systems specifically, because these are the methods with genuine tested evidence behind them for reaching and eliminating an established underground colony and its queen. Using cedarwood oil as your only response to a confirmed active infestation risks allowing real structural damage to continue while you believe the problem is handled, and that delay can ultimately cost significantly more in repairs than simply addressing an active infestation properly from the start. A builder in North Carolina documented using cedarwood oil treatment on all exterior deck and fence lumber across several residential projects between 2020 and 2023, specifically as a preventive measure during construction, after reading university extension material on cedar's documented repellent properties. Across those properties, none developed a termite infestation in the treated exterior wood structures during that period, though he is careful to note this reflects prevention on new, treated lumber rather than any claim about treating an existing infestation. And he continues to recommend clients pair the treatment with a professional termite inspection every year or two regardless. Cedar's natural resistance to insects is genuinely ancient, genuinely documented, and genuinely useful, specifically when you understand and respect what it can and cannot actually do. The honest version of this story is less dramatic than eradicates termites instantly, but it is the version actually backed by the research, and it is the version that will not leave your home vulnerable while you believe a problem has already been solved. If this vault opens something for you, subscribe and share it with someone doing exterior wood construction who wants real prevention rather than an exaggerated cure. The next vault opens soon, and what is buried inside it goes even deeper than this one.